So for this lamb with the broken leg, the vet came and took a look at it. She determined that that leg was broke and that she thought she'd be able to get this fiberglass cast on it. The thing is, she said there's a 50-50 chance probably that the leg may heal. So the plan of action with this lamb right now is for the first 3 weeks, it's going to wear this hard cast. The vet's going to come back out. She's going to cut the cast off, take a look at it. At that time, if we determine that the leg has not started healing and that it's not healing at all, then we'll have to put the lamb down. But if the leg is healing, we'll put a new cast on it. It'll stay on for 3 more weeks. They'll come back, cut that cast off, and then put a third cast on the lamb, where at the end of the 2 or 3 weeks, me or Rachel would cut that cast off. One of the reasons why we went ahead and had the vet put that cast on this lamb, it's not really cost prohibited. This lamb is probably going to end up costing more money than we will get back in return, but this lamb was actively eating, it was getting up, it was going for milk, it was very active with that hurt leg. This lamb really hadn't gone downhill or anything like that, and so we just felt we wanted to give it the chance, give this a try, and just basically see if it can survive if we give it all the help that we're able to give it. And that might sound crazy. This is just a commercial lamb that we are going to raise on our farm and basically finish out for a meat product. And so a lot of people at that time might make the determination that the lamb just isn't worth putting all that money into, just to try to maybe give it a 50-50 chance of survival, because again, we don't know if it'll make it through the end of the 3 weeks and have any progress or not. But currently the lamb's not really acting like it's in any pain. We've given it some medicine over the last couple days. It's currently getting the cast up underneath itself, really starting to like peg leg, walk itself around. It's just basically a one hop around lamb, and it's still getting milk. It's getting up underneath its mother. She's bouncing against it, and it's able to stand up on its own using that cast, so that's a good sign, because it shows that it's developing enough muscle to function with that heavy cast on it, because that lamb still today isn't even 2 weeks old. So there's a lot of work to be done with this lamb, a lot of what ifs, and at the end it may not help, but it may pay off. And you know, that's just something we just felt like we were willing to do at this time. So that leads us to this ewe. This ewe had her lamb all on her own, no problems. On Sunday morning, 2 days after the vet was here and put that cast on the other lamb, she seemed to be doing fine, had plenty of milk, had the lamb up, nursing on it, everything like that, cleaned it off. Everything seemed perfectly fine. We kept an eye on her throughout most of the day on Sunday. We were out here in the barn doing some work, moving stuff around, so we were able to just watch, make sure she was doing good. Everything seemed perfectly fine. I came out to shut the lights off at 10 o'clock that night, do a check on all the ewes, making sure none of them were ready to have a lamb anytime soon. She seemed fine. She got up, moved around, eating hay, drinking water, no big deal. And then about 5:45 the next morning, I came out here in the barn and turned on the lights, and I noticed she was on the ground acting like she was in active labor. Something was up. I hopped over and looked, and she had a full uterine prolapse. So once I saw that, I went ahead and got her up here into this different lambing jug so it was closer to the alleyway. And after just looking at her for a few seconds, she didn't seem like she was in a lot of pain right then. And so I kind of just went all through my mental checklist. Does it look like she's in imminent danger of dying in the next 30 minutes? No, she was up, moving around, getting some water. Just looked horrible. So the next thing I asked myself is, do I think I can fix it? And after taking a look at her, I didn't feel good about it. I've never dealt with this before, and this was a lot more than the other ewe that prolapsed before. This was an extreme amount out of her body. I was more worried that I would do more damage to the ewe trying to fix it. I wasn't even sure where to begin to fix it. And so at that time, I just told Rachel that she needs to call the vet and tell her we have an emergency call. And Rachel was able to hold her down while the vet did her work. And she got everything put back inside the ewe and sewn up. So we've been giving her medicine over the last couple of days, keeping an eye on her, and she seems like she's perfectly back to normal now. But it was just a pretty intense few minutes there for me, because I've thought, I don't even know what to do or where to begin to handle this. So then that brings us to the why. Why did we call the vet and have her come out and put a cast on this lamb's leg? Well, we weren't sure what was wrong with the lamb. We wanted a professional's opinion, so they were able to swing by, take a look at it, and let us know their opinion on it, and gave us our odds of survival and fixing the problem with the lamb and helping it heal. And so we decided, since this lamb was being active and really fighting and getting to milk, and everything seemed to be going okay with it other than the broken leg, that we were willing to take that risk. And with this ewe, it was really just out of my hands, because when I looked at it, I immediately knew this is something that I can't handle on my own. Normally, we like to take care of as much stuff as we can in-house. It helps keep a lot of our costs down. but that's not what this issue was. This was a medical emergency for that ewe. It's something I've never done before. I've never seen somebody put one back in before at that extreme level. So I just knew that it was out of my comfort zone and out of my skills, so I figured it was easier just to let the professionals handle it. And this really ties into a question we get a lot at the farmers markets about how we raise our livestock and the operation of our farm. Yes, these sheep and these lambs have a monetary value at the stockyards or for sale. That always doesn't play into our decision on how we are going to treat our animals and raise them. Fiscally, against our profits for the farm this year, is it a smart move to put a cast on this lamb? Probably not. But me, I feel really good about it. I felt like taking the chance because I know the lamb's not going to be in pain, and there's a 50-50 chance that this lamb seems to be a really big fighter. It's still getting milk and everything else. And so I know it sounds crazy, but I just felt good about doing it. I felt like this is something that needed to be done. This ewe getting sewn up, I didn't even question for a second calling the vet and having him come out in an emergency, because I want to make sure that I'm not the one killing this ewe. If there's a chance for her to survive and recover through all this, if the veterinarian does it, that's what I want to do, because that's what's best for the animal. And at the end of the day, sometimes you can't even think about any profits or anything like that. You just have to think what's best for your livestock, and that's basically how me and Rachel treat this whole farm operation, is what we're doing what's best for the livestock. And we always say that we want the worst day for the animal is the day that it has to leave our farm, and that's kind of the method that we live by here. And sometimes, yeah, it's not going to be profitable, but we just got to be okay with that because we know we're doing what's best for them. We're going to have to keep an eye on these two, make sure everybody's healing and recovering and nobody's in any pain or needs any more medical attention. Knock on wood, we hope that we're not going to have any more emergency vet visits though, because that's never a good thing. Well, that'll wrap up this video. Thanks for watching.